I think we as people need to be honest about wage slavery. I feel like too many people, I repeat, too many people downplay wage slavery. People are extremely brainwashed into thinking that wage slavery, even though some people may not call it wage slavery, but that is what it is. It is wage slavery. Too many people are brainwashed into thinking that this is just life. That's life. That's life. That's life. People need to wake up and realize that just because certain things are quote unquote just life doesn't mean it's okay. It doesn't mean that that's how life should be. I'll say one of my most popular phrases, like I've said before. We were forced into this world just to work and sleep most of our lives. That is our existence. That is our existence. Our existence is working and sleeping most of our lives. That is extremely boring. Wage slavery is boring. I'll say that one more time. Wage slavery is boring. Most people don't want to do wage slavery. Most people don't want to be wage slaves. So, with all of that being said, with how wage slavery is boring and most people don't want to do it, most people at the very least don't want to do it. Ask yourselves, people who are watching this right now, ask yourselves, is it worth creating someone into existence? Is it worth creating someone into existence to become a future wage slave? Is it worth it? Why is it worth it? Be realistic, people. Wage slavery sucks. That is the majority of our existence, along with sleeping. That is boring. So, if you acknowledge that wage slavery is boring and that alongside sleeping is the majority of our lives, why would you want to bring someone into this world to become a future wage slave? Guys, have some empathy. Have some empathy. Please, please, think deeply. If you think wage slavery sucks, don't bring a child into this world. It's very simple. Why would you bring a child into this world to become a wage slave when you yourself do not like wage slavery? When you yourself despise wage slavery? When you yourself think that wage slavery is extremely boring and insufferable? I don't like when people downplay wage slavery. I don't like when people downplay it. Most people hate their jobs. Most people hate work. Let's be real. Most people hate working. Most people hate clocking in, clocking out. Well, yeah. Don't pass that on to the next generation. Just live your life and be done with it. Simple. Do not pass on wage slavery to the next generation. Break the cycle. Break the cycle. How could you acknowledge that wage slavery sucks, that it's boring and insufferable, yet you still want to have a child? I'm saying this to wake you people up. How can you acknowledge that wage slavery is boring and it shouldn't be the majority of our existence alongside sleeping, and then think, you know what, I still want to have a child? Wake up. Wake up. That's not being very empathetic now, is it? Don't pass this onto the next generation, please. Live your best life. Live your best life and let that be the end of it. Don't bring a child into this world to become a future wage slave. because that's what you're doing. The minute you create someone into existence, you are creating future wage slaves. The minute you create someone into existence, that's right. They have to fend for themselves. They have to get a job, get a business, whatever. They have to work in order to earn money to pay for necessities such as food, clothing, and shelter, and more. People, stop saying that's life. Please, 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 please. Most people hate their jobs. Most people hate working a job. Most people. For many people, it doesn't matter what job they work, they just hate working, period. This is not something to downplay. This is not something to make light of. This is something to take seriously. Wage slavery affects people's mental health in a very, very bad way. There are people that have exited life on their own terms because they realized that they did not want to do wage slavery for the rest of their lives, so they exited, and I don't blame them. Is that what you want for your future child? No? Then don't have that future child, that quote unquote future child. Just don't have children. I'm saying this out of encouragement, not out of force. I'm not here to force anyone to do anything. I'm trying to get people to critically think. If you don't like wage slavery, if you realize that this is the majority of our lives alongside sleeping, and you think that's insufferable, it's tedious, it's all these things, don't pass that on to the next generation by creating a child into existence. I say this to be encouraging. If you this if you think life is so great, fantastic. You think life is great, great. Life is so great that you don't need to bring a child into this world to become a wage slave. If you think life is that great, just live it. Live it. Don't unnecessarily create someone into it. If you acknowledge that wage slavery is a problem in this world, a very, very severe problem in this world, and you still decide to create a child into this world, despite knowing that wage slavery sucks and is boring and insufferable, that is very evil. That is very evil. I'll say it again. Have some empathy. Have some empathy. You don't like being a wage slave? Don't create children to become future wage slaves, please. I would rather I would rather dislike wage slavery on my own than to dislike wage slavery and create children so that they can grow up to also dislike wage slavery. I'm going to break the cycle by not having children. I'm going to break the cycle. Creating someone into existence to become a wage slave is extremely selfish, especially if you're someone who acknowledges that wage slavery is boring and insufferable. Especially when you are someone who acknowledges that every single day you dread going to work. Don't delude yourselves into thinking that, oh, wage slavery is just life, this is life. Like, no, 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 no. Okay, Yeah, this is the majority of our existence alongside sleeping. But that doesn't mean it has to be like that. It shouldn't be like that. That's the bigger picture. Okay, there are a lot of things that are a part of life. Oh, that's life, that's life, that's life. I'm sitting here thinking, hang on, okay, that's life, but it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like life shouldn't be this concept of, oh, work and sleep most of your life. That's not how it should be. Wake up, people. Wake up. That is not how life is supposed to be. We're forced into existence. We go to school and then we go to work for 7, 8, 9, 10, however many hours, long hours. And then we go to sleep, the minute we get home, depending on how tired we are. We might even have laundry to do, other chores to do. Yeah, we basically have work back at home the minute we, you know, get back home from our professional work, as in the work we do to get paid. There's just so much to do in life, whether you're at your job or outside of your job. Anyway, the bottom line is this: don't create children into this world, because if you do, they will become future wage slaves. Do you want to create a future wage slave? No? Great. Don't be of the mindset of misery loves company. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Adopt, if anything, just adopt. Adopt a child. There are children that are in need of adoption. Adopt them. I would rather you adopt those children that are in need of adoption than to unnecessarily create a child of your own into this world just because you want to play house. I'm not saying that to trigger you, literally. It's not worth creating a child into this world just because you want to play house. Because you were bored, because you were bored without children. Something's wrong if you're bored without children. Something is seriously wrong. If you feel like life is miserable without having a child, something is seriously wrong and you need to question that. You people are the same people who will say life is great, life has so many good things, yet you feel as though you would be miserable without having children. If you feel like you'd be miserable without having at least one child into existence, my advice, don't have any children. Because what if your children grow up to feel the exact same way that you do, which is that they end up growing up and feeling like, oh, if they don't have children, then they too will feel miserable and or depressed without children. And so they end up making children of their own. And it becomes a vicious cycle. Break the cycle. Please break the cycle. We live in this world, and for the majority of our lives, we're just doing wage slavery and sleep. Break the cycle. Don't have children. Don't have children just so that they can become wage slaves, please. Have some empathy. Realize that most people hate their jobs. Most people hate work, period. Most people dread getting up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning just to go to a job that they absolutely detest, that they absolutely hate. This is something to be taken seriously. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. Don't try to gaslight me. This is serious shit. If you're someone who loves wage slavery, understand that just because you love wage slavery, I'll say it again, understand that just because you love wage slavery, some crazy how, that doesn't mean that when you create children into this world, they're also going to love wage slavery. This is why I want people to have a realistic assessment of the world. Most people don't love wage slavery. So you, the person who loves wage slavery, take that assessment into consideration. Really assess the world and ask yourself, is it worth bringing a child into this world? Do I really want to take the gamble? Do I want to take the gamble with someone else's life? Just so that they can likely become depressed. Because they have to do something that they hate for decades upon decades. Really think about this, you people watching. Really think about what I'm saying. People, don't be so selfish. I'm not saying this out of spite. I mean well when I say this. Don't be so selfish. Who are you to think that it's okay to gamble with someone else's life because of how you view life? Oh, life has so many great things. Great. Enjoy those great things. Enjoy those many great things. But don't bring a child into this world. You can't guarantee that they're going to enjoy those quote unquote great things that you, well, you see as great. There's no guarantee. All these great things that you like, and you want to create a child into this world so that they can experience those great things. How do you know that they're going to enjoy those great things that you enjoy? It's not worth it. Don't take the gamble. If life is so great, if life is as great as you claim it is, then enjoy it. Enjoy it, and enjoy it with the people that are already here. I repeat, if life is as great as you claim it is, enjoy life and enjoy it with the people that are already here. Don't unnecessarily create more people into this world so they can suffer. There isn't a single person in this world that has not suffered. Just remember that you're not doing your children any favors by creating them. You're doing yourself a favor. Listen very, very carefully for what I'm about to say. Once you bring a child into this world and they grow up to be adults, at some point, eventually, that child is going to realize that they're just slaving their life away. And they're stuck in this world, slaving their life away. And chances are you're going to tell them to just suck it up. You've brought a child into this world. They realize that they're slaving their life away. And they're stuck here slaving their life away. And all you can tell them to do is suck it up. This is why, despite the amount of people that still think it's okay to bring children into this world, or are still going to have children, this is why I think that euthanasia and assisted suicide should be legal worldwide. No, I am not encouraging anyone to get euthanized or to get assisted suicide. All I am saying is that these should be options and they should be legal worldwide. As far as people wanting to exit life via euthanasia and assisted suicide on their own terms, that is their prerogative, but I'm not forcing or encouraging anyone to do so. They should simply be options and they should be legalized worldwide. It is as simple as that. Given that us human beings were forced into existence and we never chose to exist in the first place, in the name of principle, it is only fair that we get to choose when we want to exit existence via euthanasia and assisted suicide, since those two forms of exiting life are considered painless and guaranteed. Plus, you're exiting life with dignity. Given that we were forced into this world and we never chose to be here, not one single human being should be forced to stay and slave their lives away. This has been The Thought Provoker. Please like, subscribe, and peace.